Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, you guys. Hey, guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my first episode of A Life After Lockup. This is season 2, episodes 40, 41, and 42. That is Skeletons in the Closet, Manipulate the Manipulator, which, I mean, Sarah just kept saying it, and I was like, girl, okay. And then wake up calls. Manipulate the manipulator. Girl, you were not manipulating any manipulator. How are you manipulating him? These are the questions that I have. How are you actually manipulating him? Hi, Tiana. Hi, Lana. Hi, everybody in the room. So as you can see, I am in my car again. You know what? Honestly, without Wi-Fi, it's so much easier for me to film. So I hope that this is a very clear shot. I love my camera. My camera is my phone. My phone is actually quite a good camera. And yeah, I'm in my car. Okay, so Love After Lockup, or Life After Lockup. This season, we've got Tony and Angela. We've got the throuple, Michael, Megan, and Sarah. We've also got Marcelino and Brittany. We've got Lacey and Sean John, whoever. We've got Clint and Tracy, Lamar and Andrea, and Josh and Cheryl. So, the first episode starts off with Angela and Tony. It's called Skeletons in the Closet. So what we're going to do is we're just going to talk about Angela and Tony over the last 3 seasons, last 3 episodes, because really nothing that great happens. And I'll just talk about the things that are great that happen. Okay, so first we get a video shot of Angela. Angela is like, I wish y'all was here. Let's see. I wish y'all was here so you can see I'm burning all this stuff. You can see all the crap that Tony's putting me through. We're in Mississippi, you guys. Okay, there's an armadillo somewhere. We're in like a trailer park, not really, but like we're in a space where there's houses and trailers mixed. Girl, picture it, okay? Angela's there. She's pissed because she has gone through Tony's phone. Now, how did she get into Tony's phone? You might ask. Angela, my dear Angela, took the SIM card out of Tony's phone, put it in her phone so that she could bring up all the text messages. And it turns out that Tony has been screwing prostitutes. He has been allowing them to handle their business, do their due diligence, do their jobs in the motel that he works at for free as long as he's allowed to join in sometime. And he says that he has a sex addiction. He has a sex addiction, and that's just the beginning and the end of it. So she's there. She's pissed. She woke up in the morning like nothing happened, didn't even say anything to him. She was stewing. Let him go to work and everything. She had already known that he was up to near good. Okay? She had already known he was up to near good. So she was stewing. She didn't know how she was going to do it, how she was going to break it down, how she was going to, come at him. But when he got home from work, she already had the camera crew there. Okay? She called them. She was like, you need to come to my house right now because it's about to go down. I'm about to confront Tony and his cheating ass. So, camera crews get there. She does a little confessionals with them, talking about how pissed off she is and like what's going on and what she's gonna do, how she's gonna do it. He gets there. She immediately is like, Tony, tell me who this person is. She starts to rail on him. He starts to deny it, and then she's like, I went through your phone, and he's like, why would you do that? And it just was like because she took back a convict. Why is she taking back this man? Why did she take this? Why is she on camera lying about her age, saying she's 47 years old, and dealing with this person who is literally the same age as her son, I believe, if you remember season 1, and is going back and forth with him. She took him back when she knew that he was a lying, low down, dirty dog. Have herself looking real stupid, you know what I'm saying, on national television, dealing with Tony's ass. So she kicks him out. She tells him to leave. She doesn't care where he goes. In fact, she calls one of the hoes and says, hey, you need to come get your boy. Can he come stay with you? So she tells Tony to get back on the motorcycle that she bought him, get back on the motorcycle, and go from whence you came. And he's just like, oh, I'm going to give her some time to cool off. Okay. So he goes ahead and he leaves, and she gets pissed off. And she says, if you are not back by the time the last cock crows, okay, all of your shit will be burned in that there fire. And Tony doesn't believe her because he's like, all I got to do is apologize to her. It will be fine. It's going to be fine. She's like, nah, I can't. So she calls over Donna Faye. Donna Faye is her sister. Donna Faye comes over, face ready, okay? It's a little too much eyeliner. It's too thick. I don't like the sparkle. There's a lot going on. But you know what? I give Donna Faye and Angela their due. They know that they are going to be on TV, so they always have their makeup ready. And I support it. I stand a woman who is ready for the cameras, okay? So she's like, I'm going to kick him out. He can't live with me anymore. And Donna Faye's like, what do you mean? He paroled there. And Angela's like, I don't care. I can't keep letting him make a fool of me. And Donna Faye is like, we will see. Because Angie has a big heart. She just wants to take care of the wounded at all times. So we're going to see. We're going to see how this is going to go. And Donna Faye's like, if you need me, I got my gun ready. I'm ready to skin him. I told you I would have sick the dogs on him. And if you need me, sis, I am there for you. I'm there for you for this filming. I'm here for you for this like little confessional moment. I'm here for you at all times. And I support Donna Faye. I support it. So Angela then is just like sitting at home, smoking all the cigarettes, living her life, thinking about, what's happening. And her sister even says, for all the education that you have, you are a stupid woman. And Angela's just like, I love him. So Tony comes back after the cock crows. Angie's got a bonfire going. All his shit. She done took his Chuck Taylors. She has burned all of this man's shit, and I am here for it. I am here for all of the burning, okay? And he's like, is that my stuff? And she's like, yeah, it's your stuff, Tony. I told you to be back before the sun set, and you weren't back. So you need to go on and get out of here. He's like, no. Let's just go on and into our house. And she's like, no, that's my house. That is my house. And as he's talking to her, we are visibly seeing her resolve dissolving. And he gets real close to her, and he's just like, Angela, we are meant to be together, and I am so sorry for everything that I put you through, and I'm not going to do it ever again. I love you. You are the love of my life, and I will get better, and I'm going to stop hurting you. And she's like, Tony, I wouldn't forgive myself if I ever let you back in this house. And he's like, come on, Tony. And it's such a different, was that a B? It's such a different response from when she had kicked him out earlier when he left during the day. She was like, get your shit. Get your shit. She was like Angela Bassett in Waiting to Exhale, girl. She was like, get out of here. Get out of my house. And she was just so calm and collected and just so hurt and heartbroken. And I was like, Angela, if you let this man back in your house, it better not be on camera, because I am going to judge the hell out of your whole life, okay? More than I already do. And where is Tommy? Where is Tommy? These are the things that I want to know. Where is he? Sorry. Someone just said the audio is low. I'm going to take this off. Maybe that worked. Is that better? Is that better? Can you hear me better now? I still have to roll down the window. Oh, it's not better. Hilarious. All right. Well, I still have to roll down the window because I'm too cold. All right. So now we have to get on with it because my phone is no longer charging. So who knows how long this is going to last. Where'd my notes go? Here they are. So she kicks Tony out, goes back into the house. Tony gets on his bike and drives off, and who knows what happens from there. That's everything that happened in the first 3 episodes. Okay, next couple that we're going to talk about is the throuple. Megan, not Markle, Michael and Sarah. Hydrate. Okay. Michael has found his way to Texas. I don't know how real this is. She was like, what are you doing here? Oh my God, what are you doing here? It's that scene, how like we left off the last, okay. Basically it's picking up from where they left us hanging like 6 months ago, where Michael's in the car, he gets a call from another girl who's going to take her kids to the park or whatever, and he gets to, what's her face? He gets to Megan's parents' house, and he's like, ooh, she rich, and she's just like middle class, and he knocks on the door, she opens the door and is surprised, even though she like completely has a camera crew in her house, so I'm not sure what she thought was happening, but She's surprised, opens the door, comes outside barefoot because she's like, I don't want my dad to see you, which is a really smart move. And she's looking radiant, though. I mean, the highlight, the sun is hitting her in the absolute right spot, okay? And baby girl got her makeup professionally done for all of her confessionals, okay? The weave is laid, or the wig is laid. The outfit is bright and cute, colorful and cute. The makeup is neutral. I mean, she looked good, okay? She looked good for her confessionals. She watched her confessionals from season 1 and season 2, and she said, baby, I will not be raggedy this season. And we are here for it. We are here for it. So she's wearing this dress. Now, I was like, is she pregnant? And it's like, listen, as somebody who has a panza, as somebody who has a belly of her own, there are just certain dresses I know that I cannot wear unless I have a pair of Spanx on. And even then, I still might not wear it. Sometimes a two-piece is in order, And she didn't look the best in that dress that she went out with Michael in, but whatever. So she gets there. Michael's like, why are you trying to hide me? And she's like, because I got a whole daddy that loves me. And you are already an embarrassment to my life, and he thinks less of me because of you, but I love you, so you're going to stand out here. And we're going to go meet up with my homeboy B. Now, B is not expecting this, okay? B gets there and B is sitting at the spot, right? They get up, they go to the spot. B is sitting there, and he sees Michael sit down, and he's just like, oh, okay. And Megan gets a shot of whiskey, Michael gets a shot of tequila, and B is like, oh, okay, like that. This is going to be that kind of conversation. Well, hello, trifling ass Negro. How are you? You're the one who's been wasting my homegirl's time for 2 years. Nice to finally meet yo forehead. Okay? B calls Michael forehead. He is so annoyed with him because he's basically like, how do we know you're not lying? How do we know you're not scheming? How do we know you're not doing my girl dirty again? And Michael's like, the point is that it happened in the past, and me and Megan is trying to move forward from here. And B is like, I'm sorry, I graduated from high school, so I'm going to need you to come together and make a sentence make sense, because what you were saying doesn't make any sense. What I asked you was, how do we know, me and my bestie, how do we know that you're not seeing other women and that you're telling the truth about everything that's happening in your life right now? And Michael's like, I told her the truth. And B is like, after she confronted you on it. So you didn't tell her the truth. He's like, nah, I told her the truth. No, you told her the truth after she confronted you on it. She had to ask you if you were married. She had to find out from your wife that you were married. Had a whole embarrassing situation on national television, but made the comment of the year for Wahimalino, actually. The comment of 2018 for me, for Wahimalino, was, oh no, it's not your race. Say it with me now. It's your class, ho. Anyways, so B is like harking it back, and Michael's like, I feel like this dude's sitting up here trying to act like I'm here for him, but this between me and Megan. And B is like, listen, I know you say this is between you and Megan, but this really isn't, honey, because Megan tells me everything that happens between you and her. So really it's between you, me, and Megan, and whoever else she tells, and whoever else you tell, and everybody on national television, okay? So my question to you again is, how do we know that we can trust you? Well, Michael says, you don't have to trust me. It's all about me and her. We're moving forward. And then Megan finally jumps in, and it's just like, after sitting back being like, you tell him, B. Tell him how I really feel, because I can't say it because I love him. I can't really say it because I love him, so you go ahead and tell him, B. Tell him for me, B. And so he's basically like, we're trying to move forward. We are trying to make things foreheadward. We're trying to make things better. We're trying to build our relationship from here. We're trying to, create building blocks, because he's really still trying to equate her kiss with his homeboy Rock to him lying to her about his whole wife, his whole marriage. He keeps saying that something that him and Megan have is just so special.
that he can't let her go. And I'm like, here's what it is. And this is what I know it to be true. Is that Michael is an ain't shit ass Negro. Okay? There are ain't shit ass people in every race. And Michael just happens to be an ain't shit ass Negro. And Megan has something to offer him. Megan is the smartest woman he's ever going to date. Megan is the most put together woman he's ever going to date. Megan is the pinnacle, the cherry on top of his shit sundae, okay? So he's trying to hold on to Megan to say that he got an affluent girl, that he has somebody who's above the rest, that he has somebody who's smart, who he could have some good children with if she wanted them, who, you know what I'm saying, could keep him out the hood, truth be told. But anyways, so that's what happened in that episode. Then we jump to Sarah. Sarah is looking a little powdery in the makeup department. Sarah is at home with Aviana and Rain, and she's by herself, and they decided they're going to call Michael, and Michael doesn't answer, and Aviana says he never answers, and so then Sarah puts on a hat and goes into the kitchen and pretends to be Michael so that Aviana can have a conversation with her daddy. And listen, I get what she's trying to do, but I honestly think that there are better ways about her going about making Aviana feel okay about this situation. Role playing is not the way to do it, because I think what she's doing is sort of like solidifying in Aviana's head that my mom did everything that she could, and we kept calling my daddy, and my daddy never showed up, so my mommy pretended to be my daddy. Like, she's kind of, I see what she thinks she's doing, but she's not doing it, in my opinion. I don't think that she should be, I don't know. I don't even know what I would do if I were in her situation, honestly. So let me just be quiet about that, because I really, really, really don't know, which is why I'm just like, guys, do I have a baby? If you guys were in my last live, like, what do I do? Anyways, so Sarah's talking about how he's a manipulator and she's going to manipulate the manipulator, which I don't understand how she's going to do. And then in a latter episode, she meets up with her homegirl, Emmy, who looks slightly different for some reason, but meets up with Emmy and pulls out bank statements, pulls out phone records, because Sarah foolishly pays for Michael's phone so that he can talk to Aviana. It just feels like it's one more thing that she can hold over his head, and it's an unnecessary thing, because it's not like it's actually working. He's not actually calling Aviana. He's not doing what he was intended to do with the phone. I mean, you get what I'm saying? Like, so it just feels like she's made this move with pseudo positive intentions, but it just doesn't make any actual sense. He's a grown ass man. He's your grown ass husband. You would be paying for him regardless. Anyways, though, so she has discovered that the way Michael makes income on the books is through Cash App. Now, I've always been a Venmo girl personally, and it wasn't until 2 years ago I realized that people were on Cash App. Specifically, all of my black family is on Cash App. None of my family is on Venmo. It feels like Cash App is just for black people and Venmo is not. I don't know. That is just in my experience. Like, all my black friends, not all my black friends, but like, it's just so weird. And so I had a cousin just like twice now who I don't even talk to like that. She straight up just sent me a Cash App what the fuck? A Cash App request. Was like, oh, can Jamila borrow $20 or have $20? And I was like, ma'am, what are you gonna do with $20? That's like, it reminds me of like being in junior high and like going to school with no money, so all you did was just go around to like your friends and be like, hey, do you have a quarter? Do you have a dime? And you just do that to everyone until you end up with $3. Like, that's literally what my cousin did to me on Cash App. So I already am like, Cash App is weird. Like, I'm like, does she even have my number? Like, I don't even know how she has my number. Like, we don't even have each other's number. We're only friends on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, anyway, so that's what I think of Cash App with my ghetto ass cousin. So then I see Mike is getting cash app from all these different women in different places, and apparently he's just been bouncing around from state to state living with different women. He is total trash. And apparently one of them came from Megan. Megan sent him money. Lord have mercy. I mean, listen, I had a Guatemalan boo, and I wasn't going to ever send him actual money, but I was like, oh, I'll buy your mama, like, for her birthday, a little dress. Like, if you want a little t-shirt for your dude, I'm tired of seeing him wearing the same South Park t-shirt in every video we do. So, like, if I'm at the Target and I see a pack of Hanes, like, I might throw it in a box and send it to Guatemala. Like, whatever. You put cash? My nigga, no, never in my life. Never in my fucking life. And he would never even accept that. So any man who's accepting cash from a woman, Western Union Cash App, that isn't your husband who's stuck in jail or isn't, girl, it's not me, it's not my life, and I don't judge you if you want to send the money, Western Union, MoneyGram, however you want to send it, but it's not me. Oh no, Cash App is an actual app, Tars. It's an actual app. I was going to show you on my phone, however I'm using my phone, so I can't show you. It's like Venmo. It's Cash App, Venmo, and then, like, you know, you can send it through, like, Chase, you can send it through Bank of America, you can send it all, it's just, like, it's out of control. So anyways, then all of a sudden Michael comes up sick. So let's go back to Michael and Megan. Michael turns up sick, right? And he's in the hotel, achoo. And she comes over and brings him some soup, some chicken noodle soup to his hotel, warms it up, gives it to him. He could only have 2 bites because he's so sick. And then he's laying down, and she got a whole camera crew in the whole hotel room with her in the little suite they have, or he has. And she gonna tiptoe over to the side of his bed and take his phone and then attempt to go through it. And then he gonna reach over, look for his phone because he ain't really asleep. And they gonna have this whole, like, little fake argument about her going through the phone. He gonna talk about, oh, she on some sneaky stuff. I'm like, Michael, if anyone deserves any female or any woman they're ever dealing with to be sneaky and go through their stuff, it's you. Okay? You deserve that. That is what you deserve. You don't ever deserve a woman to trust you. And then he says that when he feels like he has a collar around his neck, that make him not want to be with a female. And I'm just like, what are you doing? You are literally doing nada for anyone. You're not even calling your daughter. You're not even sending any of the money that you're getting from these girls to your wife and kids. And you know what I also hate? I hate that they won't give us any timelines. They're like, oh, he's been here a few months, or he hasn't talked to them in a couple weeks. What does that mean? Sarah, girl, you know how long it's been since Michael has spoken to his children. Please give us exact dates. How long? Okay, Rain looks like she's about 3 months old. Has it been 3 months? Anyways, I was really happy that they were back because I love talking about them. I love talking about them. So he tries to get upset with Megan, and then all of a sudden there's a knock at the door, and Megan goes off to answer the door, and she's like, what the hell? And the only thing I can think of, it must be his homeboy Rock, because Rock obviously lives in Texas as well. So I feel like there's about to be some kind of weird-ass showdown that I'm just like, girl, I just want Megan to get some self-esteem and go about her business. But really, honestly, I don't think it's just a self-esteem issue. I just really think she did fall in love with him, and it's hard to let go. Especially when you, like, have been visioning and fantasizing about being with somebody, and then all of a sudden, like, the fantasy is gone, and you still want it back because you were happy with the fantasy. Like, the fantasy, like, would just kept you so happy and kept you going, and you just can't keep that fantasy anymore. It's hard to let it go. I get you, girl. If you've been in that place, girl, and you want to keep the fantasy going, please give me the emoji of the woman holding her hand up. I want to see that emoji. Also, while you're down there giving me emojis, if you could kindly give this video a thumbs up. There are 174 people in this room, and you know that my moderators have been doing the Lord's work. We've got Lynn J, we've got Tiana here. Please give this video. Daydreaming, I see you. Give this video a thumbs up. We have 53 people in the room and 171. No, I'm sorry. 171 people in the room. 3 people just left. And 57 likes. Thumbs up. Oh, Tiana, raise your hand. All right, you guys. So while we wait for some thumbs up, let's move on to the next person and let's hydrate. Let's sing Chris's song. Thumbs it up. Thumbs it up. Thumbs it up. I said thumbs it up. Okay, Marcelino and Brittany. basically, Brittany and Marcelino are back. I don't like the color of the red of her hair. It's a little too dark, and she's got blonde streaks in them. Like, it's okay. Marcelino is looking cuter than he's ever looked to me. And, you know, they're still happily married. And it turns out that she is pregnant. Unlike me, she had an IUD put in for 10 years, and the Puerto Rican sperm just bust through all that. The labyrinth, as the Netflix special says, and got to her egg, and they made a baby. So she's pregnant again with her, this is her 5th pregnancy. And she says that she wants to try to find her children, to maybe reach out to them and, you know, explain her situation and why she had to give them up for adoption. And Giovanni's really excited about this next baby. He wants it to be a boy because he doesn't want to have to take care of 2 sisters as a big brother. He wants to take care of 1 sister. He's so cute. And Marcelino is still gambling. He's still a professional poker player, which has been doing well. And their life has been good. And also the money they get from the show. Wink, wink. And, yeah, she basically talks to him about maybe coming up with another line of income because gambling isn't so stable. And now they have another kid coming. And he's like, well, no, this is what I really want to do, and blah, 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 blah. You know, he's a little bit older. He's probably done all the things he didn't want to do all throughout his life. He has a master's degree. And so he's like, I just want to play poker. And she's just like, I understand. And the truth is that she has 3 kids that she's going to have to take care of now. And she's a felon, right? So she just can't go out and just easily get a job. So it's cheaper for her to stay home and take care of the kids. It makes the most sense than for her to go out and get a job and figure that out, right? So she's just like, you know, I just like, how lucky is she? We can just stay home and take care of them kids. Anyways, she said that she never thought that would be her life, that she would ever, from a pen pal website, meet a man, then get a husband and a whole family in a house and a minivan. She just came out of jail and just had a whole family and a husband and a house and a minivan. And it's been a lot, you know, custody battles. They owe $30,000 in legal fees just to get the Giovanni. And I mean, God bless them. They just really jumped into that together, and I support them on that. And so he is like, okay, I'll go out into the field. So he goes in to talk to a recruiter, and the recruiter is like, how much money are you looking to get? And he's like, I'm looking to get about $70K. And the recruiter's like, look, you ain't been in the workforce for a long time, and you have, your field isn't something that you could just jump in and start working at. So no one is going to pay you 60 or 70K when your heart really isn't even in it anyway. It sounds like what you want to do is play poker. It sounds like you're good at poker. And you know what? She's not telling this man to go out and get a full-time job with benefits. She's telling him to go get a little part-time something. And he's like, I'm not going to go and have no 22-year-old telling me what to do. And I'm trying to think of, where could he work? Maybe he could work in, retail. Maybe he could go sell phones. He could work for Sprint. He could go, I mean, if there's an Amazon, he could go work at Amazon. He could go to work at Kohl's. He could go work, where are they, in Vegas? What do people work in Vegas? You know what I'm saying? There's things that Marcelino could do. There are things that he could do part-time, excuse me, that is a steady stream of income. So I'm just confused as to, why he all of a sudden is like, I got to put on a suit and tie and talk to a recruiter. I'm like, slow your roll. You just need a part-time gig so you can make some. He could go be a barista. He could go work at a smoke shop. He could go work at a weed store. Tell me there's not weed stores in Vegas. He could go work at a weed store, girl. He could do a lot. There's a lot you can do without having to use your degree. And just don't put your degree on any of your applications. Don't try to use your degree. Period. Okay. Next thing that happens with them is they have this really, supportive conversation in the bed. And she wants to bring her mother over and have her mother help her with the kids. And he's like, I just want to support you on this because I know this is hard for you. You know, I had a good mom. You didn't really have a good mom. And so let's see what happens. So her mother is coming down from North Dakota, girl. North Dakota. She lived in Alaska and North Dakota. I just don't know people from those places. So I'm just like, what are you like? I just North Dakota and Alaska are just so off my radar. If anybody's from North Dakota or Alaska in the room right now, I mean, how are you? Is your cost of living low? Do you live like an easy life? Is it just like slow and mosey? It's like cozy. You guys have fireplaces. And like moose. You guys wear like thick jackets all the time. Anyways, so there is a lot that Marcelino could do. But anyways, let's move on. So the mother comes down and she's got a lease and she's going to live in Las Vegas for the next year to help out with the kids. And I think that's a great idea. She gets there and they are all sitting around having dinner outside. And Brittany is an adult and she brings up some very hard stuff, but she's not accusing her mother of anything, which is like why I know Brittany has had therapy. Because she's like, you know what? I just want my kids to be excited to see you as a grandmother. I want them to have a different life than what I had. I grew up in a house, it feels like there was a lot of people all around, and I always felt lonely. And when Brittany tells the story, and her mother gets upset and walks away and says that she really didn't want to be that, and that she's really sorry that she did that to her daughter, and she tried her best. Some people tell me that they tried their best, and it's like, did you though? What? You know this is because when I try my best, it looks different than when other people try their best. And so I tend to not believe them. But I need to start believing them when they say they try their best. That's one of the things that I think, just in life in general. When people tell me that they really tried their best, I got to start believing them. And I can't judge them based on what my best would have been. But anyways, so Brittany then tells like a little like story about how when she was 12, she thought nobody cared about her and didn't pay attention to her, and so she ran away from this motel that they were living in, this like interim space, this motel. And when she got back after 3 days of running away because she was scared and lonely, they were gone. And my heart broke for Brittany because I'm like, how? Your child runs away and you don't keep somebody there to stay in case she comes back? In my mind, it's not like they just like left and she was on her own from there. Like, I just think like, okay, if the house is ready and you guys are now ready to move from the motel to the new house, Latu, thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, you're dealing with a breakup too, girl. It sucks. It sucks. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. I'm just like, how do you not someone just stay at the motel for at least another week or something, or leave a notice with the motel like, hey, if you see this girl, or I don't know the circumstances around it. Like, I don't know if they had left, but they were coming back. I don't know, but just that is heartbreaking that she came back after 3 days and nobody was there. That's heartbreaking. So anyways, that was like a breakthrough like moment, and we got to see a different side of Brittany, and it was lovely, and her sisters are there, and Marcelino's there, and Mama's there, and it's just like, I'm really interested. Their story is boring because it's not juicy, but like, I'm still gonna watch it. All right, so this next couple I'm not gonna be watching because like, what could it possibly be? So this is Lacey, Shane, and John. Sean and John, Lacey, Shane. So they are moving into a new house. Sean is this Sean? Shane. Shane is an alcoholic. Period. He's an alcoholic. Like, maybe he's not, but like, you don't start drinking you don't drink an entire bottle of wine out of a tumbler, out of a water tumbler when you're moving. Like, you need hydration on moving day. And Lacey is paid for everything, so she is expecting him to like get the shit together, coordinate with the movers. And he's like, it's their job to move it. And she's like, it's not their job to pack the house. We still have to pack the house. So it's just like this weird day. And she gets this text from John, who's like, Lacey, you're killing me, and I don't know what I'm going to do without you, whatever. And she tries to call him back. He doesn't respond. Then she tells her friend Miranda. Her and Miranda are texting back and forth. She leaves her phone in the cabinet. Shane, Sean, John, Shane, Shaq. Shane. Shane sees her phone, sees that she's talking about John, freaks out, starts to yell at her. She's just like, we just moved into this place, bro. I need you to calm down. Our neighbors were outside. You're acting a whole fool. Oh, Chrissy, thank you so much. Thank you. Love you, Wa. And you are looking beautiful as always. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. This camera is so clear. I was worried about this like epidemic that's happening on my channel. I don't know what it is. But I want to thank you so much, Chrissy, for being here. So anyways, like he gets upset. He has a Bud Light in his hand, so he's drinking wine and beer by the time they get to the new place. And she is not aware that he's going to come over to her and blow up. So she gets upset, and he gets upset, and he starts yelling at her. And he's like, this man, John, is not going to get in between our relationship. We're married. And she's like, that could be over with. Like, he all of a sudden starts yelling at her. And then they just moved into this brand new house that she bought, and he has the audacity to throw a can of beer against the refrigerator because he is upset. That is why I can't, like, you know, me, I'm very like, you cannot just show up and show out because you're upset. Like, you need to control yourself, sir. Control yourself. And he did not. But he's so young, and he went into prison at like 18. And it's like, how do you have to make allowances for someone like that? He's on parole or probation. He can't do much. He's not really interested in getting a job right now because he's like, I'm a convict. I can't do anything. I'm a felon. And she's having to like hold it down. And girl, so her dad gets to the house. Her dad gets to the house before the fight, and her kids get there, and she tells him about John and how John is missing and how John's not answering his phone now after she's tried to reach out to him. And turns out girl John has, she goes on the hunt for John after Shane gets upset and throws things. And she goes on the hunt for John, and turns out that John has gotten himself arrested, and he had needles and drug paraphernalia on him. And it was what she was fearing, that he was somewhere dead with a needle in his arm. And so she's upset, and she like fake cries or something. It's like a weird cry. It's like she can't squeeze the tears out. She's just trying real hard to squeeze the tears out. But I mean, at least she knows that he's safe, which I understand why she wanted to figure out if he was safe. I understand that sentiment. They've known each other since high school, and like, you just want to know that somebody's safe. You may not want to be in a relationship with them. You may not want to, whatever. You just want them to be safe. So then Shane goes out with his friend to a bar, and his hands are so gross. They're like Clint and Tracy's hands put together. I just don't understand how people look down at their hands and don't go, oh, I need to wash these. I need to wash these. It's so gross. I mean, it was, they're like bitten to the nubs, dirty, like it looked like red around the cuticle. It was just like, it wasn't for me. All right, so that's the end of them. The next couple that we're going to talk about is Lamar and Andrea. I mean, I think that Andrea is like making something up to be relevant. But I like Lamar so much. I think he adds a nice bit of spice to this show. So that's why I can't say I don't like Andrea as much, but I do like her kids. So basically what happens is Dulo got shot. And Lamar's hanging out with Dulo, talking about how he misses his family. He hasn't seen them in 2 months because after he left her in Utah when she tried to take his phone and go through his shit, like not go through his shit, but take his phone and hide his shit, he hadn't seen her. And they only FaceTime a couple times, that's it. And she's in Utah trying to scheme how to figure out how to get him back. So she also looks better in her confessional these days as well. Her weave is better and her clothes are cute. And maybe Love After Lockup itself has a better budget where they're able to get their faces done. Because Sarah, no. Cheryl, you know? So anyways, so Lamar flies in, and they're waiting for him at the airport, and she's acting a fool because she's like, he's not coming. He didn't get on the plane. I'm like, why the hell wouldn't Lamar get on the plane? Nyla's there looking too grown but cute at the same time. Tennyson is there. Priscilla's there. And she has announced, Miss Andrea, she has announced that the secret she's been keeping from her friend Danielle, who is so judgy, is that Lamar is actually the father of Priscilla. And the reason why she didn't say it before, it was because he was on probation and he can get in trouble because they had sex in the closet. Apparently, when you go visit somebody in prison, you can pay somebody, like a guard or something, to allow you closet time. And so, like the lucky person she is, she had sex with him like right around her fertility and ovulation time and was able to conceive Priscilla. And Priscilla is actually his biological baby. And that's the secret. And all of her friends, because she went to like a sip and see, where they like sat around and like did crafts, which is so fucking boring, girl. Crafts, I'm just not creative in that way. So I'm like, unless we're playing spades or like celebrity, it need to be a sipping game. It need to be a sipping gaming night. And of course I'm gonna sip apple cider. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? I need games. Like, I'm doing crafts and shit. I don't have time for that. I'm not a Hobby Lobby person. I don't be at Michael's like that. And thank you so much, Tiana. I see you doing all the thumbs up for me. Thank you. Oh, we have 104 likes. Thanks, Tiana and Lynn J. Thanks for getting it there. 203 people in the room. So anyways, they're seeing this baby that her friend who did her weave. Remember the friend in season 1 who did her weave? She had a baby. Not that rude friend who was like, I've never seen any black people. Not that friend. And so she tells them that her friend Danielle is so judgy. I mean, her friend Danielle is like, oh, I guess I wouldn't want to conceive my baby in a closet. Disgusting. I'm like, bitch, it's not disgusting. Calm down. I just feel like that friend is a virgin, has never like found anybody, and it's just like real Mormon judgy about the whole situation. So anyways, cut to Lamar getting there, and she's trying to act like she don't want to really see Lamar, and Lamar's like, come on here, give me a hug, and the kids give him a hug, and it seems like the kids like him, like he's one Nyla over, you know, like Tennyson and Nyla like, cool, we like you cool. And they get into the car, and he's like, what does Utah have that LA doesn't have? And Tennyson is like, guaranteed safety. And I'm like, first of all, Tennyson, it's not guaranteed any safety anywhere, but I do see what you're saying. Especially because they know that Uncle Dulo got shot. Uncle Dulo was out at 3 a.m. and Andrea said something really great, and she's like, all I want is for Lamar to realize that the element that got him into jail is not the element that he should be hanging out with. And I understand what she's saying, but it just sounds like sounds like there are other places for her to go to be safe. Utah is not necessarily that place, especially if it doesn't work for your husband. Like, maybe go to Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Maybe meet somewhere in the middle. Utah is not for everybody. Okay? It's not. And, you know, and I also have my thoughts about the Mormon church in general, because, like, you can be black and you can be Mormon. I'm not saying you can't be, but I'm saying, why would you want to be a part of an organization that didn't allow black people or Native Americans as their members, that, like, literally just started in, like, the year 1850? Like, I know it's a sect of Christianity, and I'm glad that it calls to her, but later on in this last episode, she makes some comments that I just find to be problematic. And I see where she's coming from, but I just don't think she's opening up her horizons enough. So they finally get back to the apartment, and she's outside on the veranda talking to him, and she says, I can't be out here. There's not enough black people. There's just not enough black people. I can't be out here. Like, and he's like, I see how happy you were to see the Mormon people in the church, because she saw some kids going off to, like, let me not try to say something mean about it. She saw some young elders, or whatever they are called, missionaries, that are going to go to some, like, third world country to try to convert people to their religion. And I have a problem with colonization. Like, it's not colonization, but it's like, I have a problem with missionary work. I'm like, listen, if you want to be that religion, that's fine. And if people find you, that's fine. But don't be going to, like, fucking Samoa and, like, places where people have their own gods and their own lives and their own whatever, and tell them that your God is better, and then, like, tell them to move to Utah and shit. Like, Nah, y'all niggas was racist. Like, y'all niggas didn't want black people or Native Americans or people in your religion, and then you realize that your religion couldn't sustain, because how religion needs to spread is by going out and getting people to convert. And so when you realize that, hey, we can't be racist anymore in the 70s, we're going to let black people in. We're also just going to let them now be like priesthood holders or whatever they are. Like, it's just so transparent. Like, you can see, at least with like anyways, all religions are like that. I'm not necessarily pointing out Mormonism, but it's just because Mormonism is the newer sect of Christianity that you can see the racism and then the change from that because it wasn't politically correct. And then now they're going to Samoa and like Uganda and all these places and trying to convert people that they didn't even want in their religion from the beginning. Okay, I said it and I won't say it again. All right, so I'm sorry for all the Mormons out there, but like that is just what you see from the outside, and it's very transparent to me. Like, that is what it is. Okay. And it's not only Mormonism, it's other religions, other sects of Christianity that do it too. But there's that. So he's like, she's like, those are my people, that's my heritage, like that's what I loved seeing that in the airport. And he's like, I know you loved seeing that. Like, I know that that's what you like. And she's like, that's my heritage. And he's like, whoa, that's not your heritage. That is not your heritage. I'm like so on Lamar's side, I can't even stand it. Like, I can't, like, she's like, I don't care about race. I don't care about race. Like, if I want my kids to be in a wholesome, safe environment, and if that is where if I need to be in Utah for them to be that, then I will definitely do that. I don't care about race. It's not even about race. It's about better environment for my children. And I'm just like, sis, you don't even know what you're saying. Like I said, if you find that LA is too rough and tumble for you, that is fine. But don't even for 1 second teach yourself or teach your kids that being in spaces that are more white are better for your child, because there are black spaces, there are Asian spaces, there are Arab spaces, there are Latino spaces where people are thriving and doing well and are safe and happy and healthy. Like, you could move anywhere else where there's more diversity and your kids would be safe and happy and healthy. Go to the South. I mean, I know the South has got its own problems too. You can go to the Midwest. Midwest has its own problems too. But like, making it seem like Utah is the end all and be all and the Mormons have somehow got it together, and like, it was just too much. And diversity is so important. And that's what Tennyson says. Tennyson says, look, you know, you just want to be someplace where it's more diverse. And I'm pretty sure Tennyson wants to be someplace where it's more diverse. I'm actually really happy that Tennyson is wearing his hair out loud and proud. But she got Nyla over there with a weave, and Nyla's only like 12 years old. I mean, she's 14, 15 now, but damn, it feels like Nyla been in a weave the entire time I've seen her. And I'm saying there's nothing wrong with having weaves, but I'm saying there's one thing when you're in a community and put your daughter, is a community where you put your daughter in a weave because everyone around her has straight hair, and another thing when you have your daughter in a weave because that's just how black women roll. And it's just like, I mean, I want to be on her side so much more because he's the convict and we're set up to think that, but I think Lamar makes the most sense. Is Lamar putting himself in a bad situation by possibly staying in LA around the elements that he shouldn't be around? Absolutely. But Utah is not the answer. And if she's really down for her husband, she would find some middle ground. You could go to Texas. You could go to Arizona. You could go to New Mexico. You could go anywhere. And I'm not saying that something is wrong with Utah, but I feel like she's in Utah for the wrong reasons. And I think that they're racially based, regardless of if she recognizes that or not. Girl, I grew up in the AME church. Akeen, she needs to go to an AME church and get her life. That's what I'm saying. And her kids are half African. I wonder if their dad is Mormon. I mean, he might be. Maybe he's from Uganda. Okay, so anyways, that's the end of that. Like, I just want Andrea to be better. I mean, I know she's trying to do what's right for her kids, but like, I think it's like brainwashing. And not brainwashing, but she's just like, she's drunk the Kool-Aid, you know? And then we have Josh and Cheryl, girl. Like, this whole episode with Josh and Cheryl, who cares? I don't even want to talk about them. Who cares? I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about them. Who cares? Oh, Victory Outreach. Francine. Victory Outreach, girl. You know who I thought was Victory Outreach? Who did I call? Glorietta's mom. Glorietta's mom seemed like she was real Victory Outreach. She is from Texas, Jessie Lee. She is from Texas. And that's fine that she wanted to settle in Utah, but to be like, and I get what she's saying. She wants her kids to be in a good, thriving environment. The cost of living in Utah is cheaper. I feel her on that, but I just am like, you know, Mormonism is not your heritage. If you do your history on Mormonism, then you would know that the heritage is not so clean and clear and crystal. Okay, you guys, so that is the end of this video. That is the end of my recap of Love After Lockup. What do you guys think? Quasimodo says it's her religion. Jessie Lee says there's plenty of safe areas in Texas. Yeah, Andrea is wild. It'd be different if her community was full of diverse people, but it's all white and it's not okay. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like, I mean, I know that Utah has diverse places because, like I said, I do know that that Mormons have gone to Uganda and they've gone to Samoa and they've gone to different places where there are diverse people. So probably, I don't know, I think they're in like, maybe if she moved to Salt Lake City, there would be more diversity. She's in, what's the other place of, the place that she is now in Utah is like one of the second or third popular cities. I've heard of it before. I just feel like she could go someplace that's more diverse, and like if that's what he needed to do, and she could still practice her religion. Because I grew up next to a Latter-day Saint church. There are plenty of Mormons in California. There are plenty of Mormons all over, and you could go to a place where it's more diverse if that's what your husband needs, and you still want to practice Mormonism. Do it. Her friends are there, her friendships are somewhere, and that's part of being comfortable in both, says Quasi. Okay, I mean, I get it, but like, those comments that she made about that is just like, if she could pick up and move to Utah and make friends in Utah, she could pick up and move somewhere else and make friends. There are sit and sip circles everywhere. Where are Brittany's other kids, though? Did Brittany try, or did she just keep having kids? I mean, I don't know about Brittany's life. I'm going to assume positive intent and assume that Brittany is trying to see her other kids. But, like, she gave them up for adoption when she was, like, 15. And I'm sure they were, like, anonymous adoptions. She's had to go through a lot. Like, right now she's just trying to solidify, like, right now Brittany's just trying to solidify her life with Marcelino and getting it so that, you know, paying off these lawyer fees. Like, you can't do everything at once. She literally cannot do everything at once. Maybe after she has her second baby, her last baby, this third baby, and gets herself acclimated, then she can like really, and pay off the like debt from figuring out how to get You know what? Is it not enough that the woman got custody of, what's his name, Giovanni? Let me just be quiet. What did Trini Gal say? I don't know. Let's end this video, you guys. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I gotta eat. Gotta go in the house. How are you guys feeling? Mormonism isn't that big in Uganda, and locals are more into evangelism and Catholicism. I mean, they're doing it too, sending the missionaries. They did it too. Trini Gal asked, who did Andrea's friends think Priscilla's father was? Maybe they thought it was Tennyson's father, Tennyson's dad. That was also my question too, because Priscilla's like, what, 3 or 5 years old? She's like 3 to 6. I don't know how old she is, but like, I imagine that Andrea would have had to move to Utah when Priscilla was a baby. Oh, she's like 6. So I want to know the timeline of her being with her friends, and like, how long has she known Danielle? Like, I just want to know all these things. And Danielle is not a ride or die girl. When she said that was disgusting, I don't know. Right? Isn't that weird? To call that disgusting? Priscilla looks a lot like Andrea. Because I was looking at Priscilla dead in her face like, does she look like Lamar? Does she look like Lamar? I mean, she might be, but like, it just made me annoyed. She was like, she's disgusting. Having sex in the closet. That's not how I want to conceive my kids. I'm like, bitch, where your man at? When you having a wedding? All right. Woo! All right, you guys, so that's the end of this video. I want to thank you guys so much for listening to me gab on and go on and on about this situation. Let's have a kiki and a conversation in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I have 254 people in this room, 148 likes. I'm going to go in and listen to some Kev on stage. I'm going to get motivated for 2020. I'm going to get my online creative self life on the map this year, 2020. I'm getting out of debt. I have a vision. You know, I do. And I want to thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you for those of you who gave me super chats. You guys have been nothing but wonderful. Thank you so much to my moderators. I want to say thank you to Tiana. Thank you for Lynn J. Thank you for me, Shannon. Thank you for Quasi Modem. Thank you guys so much. Oh, girl, I do invest. I invest. Working on, figuring out on different investments to go to, but I do. I have a little bit. All right, you guys, have a fantastic day. And remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye.